Hi guys, today is the 19th of March 2019 at 2 minutes past 2 in the afternoon over here in the UK, and I want to get straight into it. So, there's a fire raging in Texas at the moment at a chemical plant in Dearborn Park. While that's going on, schools are set to reopen. A cloud of black smoke continues to emanate from a fire at a petrochemical storage facility in suburban Houston that has burned since Sunday. But for some near the sprawling grid of oil refineries and chemical plants, incidents like this are one of risks of life along the Houston shipping channel. The cause of the fire, the Intercontinental Terminals Company, is under investigation. Officials said it could take until Wednesday to put out the blazes in tanks filled with gas, oil, and chemicals, according to ITC. Meanwhile, after temporary closures of Highway 225 and schools and the lifting of a shelter-in-place order, Deer Park and surrounding communities are reopening. Deer Park. The facility is among many along the channel, one of the country's busiest seaports and home to its largest petrochemical complex. Natural gas flames, towers of smoke, and gassy smells are common in this part of Harris County, Deer Park resident Penny Tinker told CNN. But she never experienced anything like this before. It comes with the territory, and you're going to be warned if anything happens as soon as you see something. Unlikely. You know, or you just watch the news or get your information. It was kind of scary at first, because I've never seen anything that dramatic, and the blaze could take 2 more days to contain. So that's why I'm going to stop reading, because in this video, there's this smoky tower stacked imagery in the background, which has a resemblance to the Twin Towers, and that's how we know this video is referencing a second 9/11. Excuse me. But I've also interpreted it as a nuclear power plant meltdown, but it could possibly be a chemical plant meltdown. Something like that is happening at the moment. Let's just say this is Texas. I've said it before. It looks like we're down by the border. The goat is a child goat, so it's a kid. It's in a box reminiscent of a cage. We've got fencing, which is reminiscent of the border, and we've got emergency lighting. So all of that going on. Now on the 13th, Texas had a major blackout, and that continued on for a couple more days. Eventually it got better, and then it got fixed, I believe. I haven't actually checked, so I'll probably do that towards the end of the video. But that seems to be Texas going on. So if the chemical plant fire in Deer Park is what's happening in the background, then we may be right at the point of the video where things are starting to unfold. Then we have, obviously, the deer surrounded by all this greenery, so you have a reference to park on fire, so Deer Park fire. And then you've got the children in the school, and as referenced in this news report, the children are going back to school in this area after they were kind of shut down, so schools and the lifting of a shelter-in-place order, temporary closures, so they're reopening basically. Now, I've said that this blackout scenario was potentially associated with the 13th of March, and that when she drops the apple, it rolls across the ground 7 times, which I believe is counting 7 days, which leads us up to the 20th and the 21st of March, and that brings us here. So the fire, as of the report today, is going to be burning for at least 2 more days, which brings us to the 21st. And here we have 2 and 1, 21st, or even 1, 2, 3. So you could say the 21st of March contained within the apple. Now, I've said I'm looking out for a potential volcanic eruption, some sort of tsunami, something to do with flooding, water, something. And that's associated with this wave, which is a wave when viewed from the other perspective, upside down. Now, to help along with that, tomorrow is the final supermoon of the year, and this also occurs as an asteroid zips close by. And you guys know that I've talked about the asteroid emerging from behind the moon or the sun and, being actually visible in the sky, with the naked eye. And I don't know, again, we've had a couple of these kind of scenarios unfold over the last couple of years, but it's possible. The kind of 21st, the 20th, 21st, when the supermoon is going on and the asteroid is zipping by and the fire is raging in Deer Park, we could have the scenario we've been talking about, the volcanic eruptions and the tsunamis going on. The supermoon on March 21st is also known as the full crow moon, and that made me think of this scene here, where we have these blackbirds. I've referenced them as ravens, which they could possibly be, but also we know that the video is multiple layered, so it could also be saying the blackbirds themselves or crows. And you've got the crescent moon right there, crow moon. So if that is a reference to the full moon, which is on March the 21st, March the 20th, that kind of time frame, depending on where you live, then it's possible we have the crow moon referenced here, the supermoon and asteroid, which I've talked about in reference to this scene here, and particularly go back to here, particularly here where I think this object is depicting something coming behind the moon or the sun, and I've talked about that as an asteroid, or fake asteroid, whatever you want to call it, but some sort of object that is drawing attention in the sky, possibly in a couple of days' time. So there's a lot of things that seem to be connecting in this particular time frame, but that's happened before. We've had many occasions where a lot of different events seem to be linking up to this video, but we know that there was a reference to the year of the dog, and there's a reference to the year of the pig, which we're now currently in. We haven't had a situation where we've been able to reference the deer on fire before, but having a fire in Deer Park, I think is pretty significant, and that being related to a chemical plant, again, I think is pretty significant. All of that occurring in Texas, where we have the border and the kids in cages and stuff like that, again, it's all multiple layered and all seems to be connected and actually unfolding in the real world. So keep an eye out, as I keep saying, keep an eye out for volcanic eruptions, tsunamis, any blackouts that are occurring, because it may be connected. And we know that the USGS has said that during a full moon, earthquakes are up to 3 times more likely, and they may have a connection, the lunar cycle may have a connection with eruptions. Particularly in this report here, they reference eruptions of Hawaiian volcanoes, so not all volcanoes, but Hawaiian volcanoes in particular. And we've been looking at Kilauea, there's also Mauna Loa, the twin system on that Hawaiian island, and we've been looking for those events to happen. Again, I don't know if they're going to happen or when they're going to happen, but I do my interpretations. I see these events unfolding in the real world, and the interpretations that we've done for this video way before these events have been unfolding, and now they may not be exactly what we're looking for. Obviously, as I said, nuclear plant, chemical plant, it's a plant. It's having a meltdown, it's on fire. And the Deer Park reference and the children going back to school, and that all connecting up to like the 20th and the 21st, where we have the supermoon, the park will still be on fire. We've got an asteroid flying by pretty close. So there's a lot of things. As I said, keep your eyes open, pray nothing happens, and have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and may the Heavenly Father bless you.